everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in. So imagine as you were sitting here right with me right now, you had a bunch of questions you want to ask me about how lead generation works. Well, we've done that today. We took all the questions we normally get asked by our clients, inquiries, and the like, put it into ChatGPT and said, hey, phrase this as if you were a small business owner in South Africa. What questions would you want to ask for someone who's helped hundreds of companies generate more leads? So we put it together, and today we're gonna, your AI version of yourself is gonna interview me. So let's take it further. So question one that came out is, what exactly is lead generation and why is it crucial to small businesses, for an example, a construction company? And this is such a good question. Now, if you're not doing lead generation, let me put it this way. It's like you're not filling up your car with petrol. Your car will have petrol now, but at some point your car is gonna start to get lower. And if you're relying just on, say, word of mouth, that will keep you full for a while until those clients maybe run out of projects and not working and the like. And that's where you need some sort of lead generation where you can consistently, and wait for it, predictably get more leads coming in the door that are helping you to, I like to say that, rolling stone. So you're constantly busy, constantly quoting, starting new projects, you're always busy, and you're busy as you want to be. But most importantly, it's predictable and it's scalable, and that's why you need lead generation in your business. Okay, so question two, how do you customize lead generation strategies to fit specific businesses within specific industries? Now, this is a very good question because we work with a range of clients, from construction companies to solar to holiday accommodation rental to hospitality companies to lawyers to accountants. You know what I'm saying? We have an entire range. So how do we make sure that those clients are actually, how do we customize what we do? Now, the main customization comes to who are we targeting, and to what pre-qualification questions are we putting those leads through. And that's where the difference comes in. So as I say, if you work with lots of industries, the methodology is very similar. It's just sitting down, say, with an account and going, cool, what type of clients do you want and how many of them? And most importantly, what makes someone a good lead or a good client versus a bad one? And often that can come down to very specific parameters, like in the construction field, it's usually budget. In accounting, it's usually income. In HR consultants, it's usually the amount of employees you have. There's always different parameters, and so we work with that to make sure that works. Question three, which platforms work best for lead generation for small businesses? Now, the truth is you can get leads from just about anywhere. What we like to focus on is a holistic strategy. So rather than focusing on just, this is the winning platform, we try and focus on good ads, because bad ads, regardless of where you put them, are going to do badly, and vice versa, good ads, regardless of where you put them, are going to do well. So what I would say to you is our focus is more on what are you offering and how are you offering and how are you pre-qualifying, as opposed to let's find the best place to put it, because that changes. It used to be Twitter, used to be a thing. Now Twitter's become X and it's a different platform. LinkedIn at one point did have sort of ad, now it's not as hot. TikTok's very hot at the moment, but we don't know where it will be in 2 years' time. So you know what I'm saying? There's lots of ad strategies, and what we need, and that's where our focus is making sure that you have what suits your business, and make sure you have I like to say, the foundation of a strong offer and system that you can move around to different platforms, expand to more platforms as you grow, and the like. Like if I look at us as a company now for our own lead generation, we're across Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at this point. With our lead generation system, because we've got the budget, obviously, but the system itself is very similar, like minor tweaks to suit a platform. Okay, how can you identify and reach my ideal customers effectively without wasting resources on uninterested audiences? So how do I find the right people that you're actually looking for, and not random people going out? Okay, so the truth is, it comes down to pre-qualification. This is where people skip. If you're targeting everybody, and if your only measure of did this ad work is somebody clicking and going to your website or going to your WhatsApp, that's not going to do anything, because then you're relying that Facebook's data or TikTok's data or Google's data is 100%, and that there's no job seeker who's typed in the right keywords for you to show up. And so that doesn't work. So you have to have a pre-qualification system that's conversion linked, meaning it sends data back to Facebook, Instagram, Google, whoever you're working with, to say this was a good lead, this wasn't, and why. And if you haven't set that up, you're not going to get good audiences. Yes, obviously understanding their thinking, what they're wanting is important, and obviously we do that too. But the big underlying crunch is that you've got to be able to validate those people as they come through, pre-qualify them, and make sure that you only get good leads through. So that's again the focus. So what are some common challenges you see small businesses face when at lead generation? Often I would say two issues. The one being that a lot of businesses, come in with a lot of preconceived ideas, in that they have to go big, they have to go on a specific platform and things like that, as opposed to focusing on the underground, the sales, the what I'm offering. The idea that you can just put it out there and then the people will come, but the truth is if what you put out there is not good, the offer, the questioning, all of that, you're not going to attract the right people. They're not going to come, can I say. The second one is that people don't understand the cost of actual lead generation. I've met many companies who are wanting to spend, say, $500 to get, $1 million rand contract, for example. And I mean, look at the math there. It doesn't make sense. Like the rule of thumb, if you go back into marketing textbooks, is 20% you should be spending on marketing and sales of your revenue should go towards marketing and sales, and remainder. So if you're making 100,000 rand a month, you theoretically should be spending 20,000 rand a month on your marketing and sales. Now, do most businesses do that? No. Do I say you should? No, not necessarily. It depends on your business and your margins. But what I'm saying is you should be looking to spend 10 to 15% of your revenue, depending on how much you're wanting to grow, especially if you're growth focused. If you're maintenance, you could probably be a bit less. But if you're growth focused, 10 to 15% at the very least of your revenue should be going towards marketing and sales. And if you're not spending that, well, that doesn't. So that's the other one I find out, is that the guys come in wanting to spend minimal money to get massive results. And that's obviously just you. I mean, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Cheap isn't good most of the time. And so that's where it's important to make sure you're spending on premium and you're spending within your margins and revenue. So say, understand your revenue, understand what percentage you can put into it, what you should be putting into it. And then, as I say, your marketing will make sense, your lead generation will make sense, you'll be able to invest. Okay, number 6 is generating leads is one thing, but converting them to paying customers is another. What advice could you give? Now, this is a very, very good question. The amount of people that come in and like, oh, Brad, you must just give us customers. You must guarantee that we're going to get customers. And the truth is I can't, because, hey, I'm not in your business. I'm not doing the selling. I do it in my business. And so therefore I can guarantee stuff on my side, not doing it on your side. And so we work very closely with our clients to make sure that they're close. So how do we do that? So we have a dedicated account manager for each client, meaning they sit down with you, they understand your business, and they help you to implement the process, is what I like to say. They make sure the leads coming in are good, and then making sure those leads are turned into customers by improving your sales processes. And even if you have good sales processes, because we have so much data and so many clients that we're working with, we're able to see maybe areas where you could improve, maybe areas where you could make little improvements. For example, one client of ours who's been with us for a while now, I realized that their sales team has grown tremendously. And so I actually offered and put them in contact with someone to upgrade their email system from a normal server, like their website, onto a Office 365 system that will offer them better control, and things like that. And that's what I'm meaning a value add. So it's actually working with you and seeing what does your business need to make things better. They're selling without an issue. I don't need to tell them how to sell, give them scripts. Other clients I do. But as I say, it's working closely with you. It's a relationship basis. That's how we work. We're not, we are very systemized, but we're also very relationship focused. We're not this is how it is, you're on your own. We work with you to make sure that you're getting the best results and you're making the most money. Okay, number 7, lead generations sounds expensive. How can a small business like mine maximize results without blowing the budget? Good question. Now, I kind of touched on this earlier. The truth is you've got to understand that you need to be dedicating, you've got to spend money to make money, is a saying, and it's very true when you get to this sort of point. If you want your business to grow, you need to be dedicating a portion of your revenue. I said 10 to 15% is a rule of thumb, if you're wanting to focus on growth for your company, on your marketing and sales. So think about it in that sort of way. It is expensive, but it's an investment. to your business. And I always say to my clients, you need to be making out 5 to 10 times back what you're spending with us, and that's what our goal is with you. So if you're doing that, cool, then it doesn't matter if you're spending 1,000 Rand to make 10,000 Rand, you're happy. You know what I'm saying? At that same point, if you spend 10 grand and made 100 grand, you'd be happy, and that's what we like to do with our clients. Okay, so how do I track and measure the success of a lead generation campaign? That's very cool. It's number of leads coming in, number of leads marked as quality from your side. So we get feedback from our clients directly of them saying, hey, spoke to this guy, he's turned into a client. Client messaged me this morning and said, Brad, he started about a week and a half ago, just closed the first deal. That's what we want to hear, and that to me is important, as well as the return investment. So how much money are you making from the leads coming in from us versus what you're paying with us? Because that's obviously important as well, because that to me is longevity of our relationship, and the success of this campaign is based on numbers. Can you share a specific success story that you want to go through? So yeah, I love sharing Llewellyn's, and I've shared this many times. So Llewellyn's a client of ours. He's been for ages, still is, probably 2020, early 2022 he started with us. Now, when he started with us, they were in a bad state, can I say. A year before, they'd broken away from another company, they'd been working with another agency, and their biggest problem was they weren't getting any quality leads. Now, they're in the frameless glass industry, so it's high-end, can I say, jobs. And within his first week, he had deposits coming in. I remember his message, just in 2 weeks, 90,000 Rand deposit just came in. Like, that's a sort of level. You can see the difference that makes in someone's business going from that across. So as I say, that's a cool success story, and he's still client with us, and it all came down to the right targeting, conversioning system, and that's it. So say it wasn't reinventing the wheel, it was mainly just optimizing what we do, and so that you have the right message going out. Okay, and then lastly is, how is the landscape of lead generation changing? What trends or tools, and what we're preparing in for next year? So I've got a very controversial opinion on this, on how things are changing. The world in itself is going more and more AI-driven, bots, automated messaging, email follow-ups, and you'll see a lot of guys talking about that online. Does that work? Yes. It's a volume game, but it works. Okay. Our focus is always on being more personal, having a personal touch with our clients while making things easier. So as an example, we don't have an automated sales funnel, can I say. We still have calls with every lead, not every lead, but every qualified lead that comes in, rather than just having an automated process, which I could do. We jump on a call whenever possible with the client to make sure that they do it. We shake hands and meet coffee with the client and have that personal approach. So my feeling is, those in the future, everybody's going to try and automate, optimize AIs, can I say, everything. And I believe those who stay true to the old ways, the shaking hands, the getting on calls, and actually speaking to people, are going to stand out and are going to do a lot better. So that's what we're pushing with our clients is, yes, making things as easy as possible, but also making sure we're still having a personal touch. Anyway, thanks so much for joining today, and I hope that was really interesting. If you have more questions, make sure you comment down below. And if you want lead generation for your business, then go to brbd.co.za, and we'll help you from there. Otherwise, have a great week.